Okay, hi everybody. I have Alex Bally with me from LJ Hooker Solutions in Nerang to have a bit of a chat with me this morning about RESO. So thank you for coming along, Alex. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you. So we're going to jump straight into it this morning because I know Alex has always got some great things to say about the platform. So we're keen to hear some of his thoughts and also some of his strategies around how he manages sales and speaks to sellers and buyers, etc. So I suppose first question, Alex, is how long have you been in the real estate industry?
13 years now, yeah. So I'm actually in the same office for 13 years, which I think is part of real estate. You've got to plant your roots somewhere. It makes a big difference.
It does. And what were you doing before real estate, or have you always been in sales?
I was sales and marketing. Background, I've worked expatted overseas for 15 years, so basically came back to Australia, couldn't find a job, so I got into real estate.
Wow, I never looked back.
No, love it.
Beautiful. So what do you see as some of the challenges in the current market?
Look, I guess the current market, it's a volume game at the moment. Like, obviously, one of the big challenges at the moment is getting stock. And then once you've got stock, it's just managing the volume through them. I think we tend to forget, what we call a seller's market, we tend to forget the buyers, but it's very important not to, because they become the sellers of the future. So it's very easy at the moment for agents to fob off buyers because it's so easy to find them, but it's very much at my top of mind of, it's future-proofing your business.
Exactly, perfect. And how long have you been using RESO? And I suppose expand on that as around what problems it might solve for you, or you found it solved for you.
Oh, look, I've been, 2 years now, I think. So actually, I was probably one of the pioneers, wasn't I?
You were?
Yeah. And look, I struggled with it at first, to be honest. And I think you'll remember, ringing up and but it took a while to get it. But now I just don't not use it. I don't think I might have one or two listings for the whole year that don't use it. I don't rank on everything, but I definitely use it for my offer process. Yeah.
And so what do you think, you touched on it before, I think, with where the market's kind of sitting and the challenges you face there. So how does RESO help with, solving that, volume of buyer problem and situations where you're trying to deal with such a velocity of market activity?
Well, we've probably never seen so many people through open homes. In my 13 years, I've never seen it like this. And look, it started a lot earlier than what we so-call the boom since January. So it's been ideal on managing that volume and not letting anything slip through the cracks. So it worked very well. So the first stage of RESO, which you would call getting people to register interest, is very, very good tool. Okay, and there's a lot more tools after that, which everyone knows about, but that for me is a big thing because you know immediately who's interested. So you've got your core group that you need to contact and talk to.
Yes, exactly. So you're creating a bit, I suppose, that hot list, aren't you, of interested buyers to...
That's right, exactly, yeah.
So how does RESO complement the way you normally run a sale? I suppose RESO is normal for you now, which is great. But how do you use RESO to support you to run that sale? Obviously, you've got that registration stage. You have a bit of almost a set strategy, don't you, around most of the management of your sales through the platform?
Yeah, look, I think between myself and Chris, who was a big user in the early days also, we haven't actually put down a formal strategy, but we have something we know that works well, and we shared it now with the rest of the team. And it's a learning curve. I think there's no right or wrong, but we definitely, you know, have a very clear, precise strategy, and it's about not ranking too many times. It's about how you communicate to both sellers and buyers on it, you know. So I could go on, but yeah, there's a definite
and everybody has their groove, is
yeah
as well. So with regards to some of the tools on the platform, so the seller report's been a big one that a lot of agents have mentioned in these chats that I've had. How do you use the seller report in RESO?
Get new business. And look, they do come, like they definitely have some value also for the seller, right? To give him some sort of visibility. It helps them from a seller's perspective. It helps the seller understand about backing the right horse, because this, you know, this game isn't about getting the highest offer. It's about getting the best offer, cleanest, quickest. You know it's going to go through once. So RESO, you know, summarizes every single detail of every customer. So it's a lot easier to be able to give the seller a snapshot and say, yes, okay, this one's $20,000 more, but you're going to have to wait 21 days and they're going to have to sell their uncle's lung to you know, go to settlement. Whereas this one's 20,000 less, but you'll be done today on it. So makes it a lot easier from that perspective.
I hope you actually haven't had any lung conditions put in the others section.
No, I've actually had I've had a client wanting to sell their motorhome as a condition.
Wow.
So, but look, it's from the winning business, it's a huge point of difference. And I'm even reluctant to talk to you about it because I don't want everyone to know about it.
I can sense it slightly, and that's also something, you know, one of the questions we'll get to is around, you know, I may as well ask you, it doesn't really matter which order, but what advice would you give to other agents who are considering using RESO? And
it's terrible. No, look, it's a fantastic tool. It's definitely changed. It's a combination of quite a few things. We've moved in technology, as you know, our office, and Emily, amazing. You know, she's been a huge ambassador for. We're ahead of the curve and a lot of other competitors on technology. You know, so all these things that, you know, have come into place, especially since COVID. In fact, you know, so we've got electronic settlements now, DocuSign, and a whole lot of stuff. We've got a great proposal system now that, you know, it all comes together. But going back to your question, to finish it off, the winning business is a big part of it. So, you know, it's how you can pull up a seller's report and show a potential seller, you know, a result. And they're amazed, you know, to see, you know, when you've got, you know, 15, 20, 30 offers and the $50,000 jumps, you know, it's real. Not many people can do that.
No. And you've been selling property for 13 years. So obviously you're a pretty gun negotiator anyway. With RESO and with the ranking side of the platform, this is a little bit off the cuff from my side, but I'm interested to get your feedback on it. I've had agents that have said that buyers have increased their offer without you doing any ranking. So they've just increased their offer off the cuff anyway, just because they've had the ability.
Because, look, I have a strategy. I'm giving my strategies away, but I don't rush it. I tend to do at least 4 open homes, and everyone's panicking. They all don't want to miss out, and they know they're not going to miss out because I guarantee it. And they sort of, I'm getting repeat, you know, customers coming through. But just that waiting, if they put an offer in on the first day and you've got to wait 4 days, their offers will jump before I even rank because they're nervous. They just don't want to miss out. It's a bit of human nature from that perspective. But very interesting point, Chelsea. You said I'm 13 years, great negotiator. Can you see me?
No, I've just lost your camera. Are you pulling your report up?
No, someone's bloody come over the top of me. Just 1 second.
Yep. I'll pause it for a sec.
So what I was going to say is that, my assumption that you're a great negotiator after 13 years. Look, there's a school of thought would say that there's nothing worse than a cheesy, bloody negotiating agent. RESO takes all of that out. And, sorry.
That's okay.
I'll have to. That one thing doesn't work with these things, is it? That you can't.
You get interrupted.
Anyway, yeah. So it gives great transparency to both buyers and sellers. Everything's legitimate. So, and I love it because of that. And I probably get my biggest, when people appraise me and give feedback, but just say you're not pushy. You don't have to be with RESO. You don't have to be pushy. It's a very good system from that perspective.
So what I'm hearing is it almost raises the integrity of the transaction and your relationships with your buyers. Would you say that your buyers trust you more because you're using the platform?
Look, it does. There's always a few in the crowd that don't like it for whatever reason, but look, once again, it comes down to how you manage it yourself, also personally. My one-liner on that will be: don't turn it into being a lazy agent, because it's a very easy trap to fall into. You've got to still talk to people. If you don't, then people feel like they're just a bloody number on a system, and it loses all that integrity. So it's you've got to still physically follow everyone up, talk to them, through the process.
Yep, perfect. And so when you're actually at the opens and you're talking to buyers about RESO, what do you say? Like, you've got, Joe Blow who walks into the open house. What's the conversation you have with them about the platform?
So generally, Joe Blow at the moment is like, I want to put that. We're getting offers before they even come. They want to put their offer in so not to miss out.
Yes.
And everyone's very much, everything we go to, we're missing out. So my first conversation is, you're not going to miss out. Nothing's going to happen till this time. And then I give them the process. The one-liner I use a lot is that it's not an eBay auction, because some people think that, it's just becomes an eBay auction. And I just say, look, it's a tool to help the front runners get to the negotiation table. Otherwise, you're going into like virtual automation, and you're losing customer contact. So yeah, I would say 90% of my clients, it improves my relationship with the buyers. 90% of them, where they love it. There's always a few in the crowd. We have them. They don't like it. They won't do it. You just get them to do a manual offer, but they just don't have the luxury of having the physical, visual belief. They've got to believe then. So yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. So, and what would be one thing you would say to a potential seller when you went into a listing presentation about using RESO? Like, how would you lead out of the gate with that? Because there's obviously lots of different methods of sale.
You go through what it does, the process, and not only have you got the seller's reports, but I just show them straight on screen. I got so many examples. But my one-liner is, you couldn't ask for a better, one of the best investments you'll ever make. The investment of $400. You're going to actually potentially make 40 grand more. So
exactly. Excellent. All right. Well, that's pretty much it from me. Is there anything else that you would like to advise or recommend for the platform or to any other agents?
Yeah, as I said, don't use it. It's no good.
Thank you very much, Alex.